Grand Rising TikTok. This is a beautiful day. Yesterday was an 11/11 portal. Energies were just flowing. Heart space was open. Rainbow colors were flying out. It was an awesome day. So I wanted to talk about everything you see because I am an observer. So I'm going to talk about the observation of what you see going on in the Middle East. Remember, I have no dog in the fight. I know what's going on. I have no emotion to it. I'm just going to state to you a perspective, and then you decide. You decide what you want. You have a people that call themselves Jews. A lot of the ancient texts, it's misinformation, it's distortion, but there is truth in a lot of it. There's a lot of truth in it. But you got to know how to decipher the truth and the distortion. Because it is a frequency. It is a mindset. It is a consciousness that you are partaking in this experience. In a certain book, it says, those that call themselves Jews are not Jews. Take it for what it's worth. It's written down. So once it's written, it is someone's intent to portray a consciousness onto you, whether it's misinformation or whether it's truth. Those who call themselves Jews are not Jews. Now, I don't know about you, but with all the information that's in this world, when I was in that program of religion as a little child in the 70s, I remember looking in the back of the Bibles. Back of the Bibles, they always had a map. Gideon, they had this, they had that, because I wanted to know where the stories were happening. So I looked at the maps. At a young age, I was doing that. And there was the land of Palestine. I said, wow. And then it was the Palestinians. And the Palestinians were against God's people, right? That's what they told you. So, remember we talked about misinformation? Where is the origin of the information going and who is benefiting from it? So God's chosen people were fighting the Palestinians. And the Palestinians were made into a light of negativity, giants, Riphium, all these different names. They were the bad guys in the Bible. And God's chosen people, they were fighting. Irregardless, the land was called Palestine. Okay. Now, if you did your research, I'm sure you did, because you are an astute being. Otherwise, you wouldn't be watching me. So you did your research, right? You did your research, right? How did Israel come about? Israel came about as a nation, they said a nation, which was already a land called Palestine, right? It came about by the British. What the fuck the British got to do with this, right? They're Europeans. This is all about Arabs and Muslims and that type of generational being, okay? So what does the British do? The British have the Balfour Agreement. They actually bought that land as a corporation with a lease and a contract. And they called it Israel. What the fuck? And then they imported people from Europe. Now, you remember this whole thing about Hitler doing this to the Jews and all that? Again, I heard the stories coming up. I heard about the Holocaust. I heard about all of that. But see, I also heard with the information that I gathered astrally through all these temples that I had to go to and read books. Not books, but actually they were light language, digital, how do I describe it? Information. Okay? There were Jews that were being persecuted, right? And they took them to the ovens and all this stuff, right? They called them Jews, right? But then they were also given, Jews were also given money to leave Germany and build a nation in what they called Israel. So these people were imported, okay? They were imported, right? And they took over the land that was called Palestine. Now, the people that are in Palestine are told, this ain't your land, get the fuck out, and this is ours. Okay? Sound familiar? Sounds like the same shit the British did to America, right?